My name is Pierre-Jean Garin, and I am the CEO of Complete CU Services. And I'm here with my colleague, Erica Aguilar, the Senior Vice President.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with George De La Rosa. Now, George De La Rosa has over 25 years of experience in the credit union system, and he has held very many different positions. Currently, he serves as the Chief Executive Officer at Luminus Financial.
Thank you very much, George, for being with us today. We really appreciate your insight.
And thank you to Complete CU Services for the support that you do provide credit unions, but even just to have this platform for us to be able to talk about our system, our industry, and ourselves, I think it's great. So I appreciate the opportunity to do this. Thank you.
So we've been talking over the past couple of episodes about the credit union sector, but I really wanted to underline the competitive advantages of the credit union sector. And it brought me back to some memories of when I was a young kid growing up in Montreal. So in Montreal in those days, in the 70s and the 80s, when you were going to primary school, you would the local credit union would go into the class, and all the kids in elementary school would open accounts with the credit unions. So we would be aware of, what they would offer as services and how close they were to the community. So they would come in once a week. We would deposit our 5 cents. We had a passbook. And then as we grew and as we evolved and I went into the banking world, well, whenever I couldn't help a client, finance a client, whether it be a commercial or retail client, I would, refer them, well, you could go to the credit union because, they look at different aspects, and the banks, look at really the financial ability of each customer, and it has to go into their benchmarks. So that's an example of, how different the credit union mandate is to really help individuals.
Absolutely. And, you remind me of, when the pandemic first hit and the government announced that, they had spoken to the banks about deferring mortgage payments for people so that way they wouldn't be concerned about making their payments. I think the key that was missing there that we were able to take advantage of with our members was the education behind what does it mean to defer your payments. It doesn't mean that you're just not, that payment goes away and that's it, right? They didn't understand the financial effects that it would have to defer. And so when we spoke to our members about what it meant to defer payments, some of them, if not most of them, chose to not defer the whole 6 months, right? Maybe just let me leave that as a back pocket, just safeguard, but for now I think I'm going to be okay. And I think that was very important because, if we just said to them, yeah, automatically defer your payments, and then they see what that financial effect might be in the long term, I think we wouldn't have really done our job as a credit union.
So here's a question that I'm kind of wondering about, is it in terms of social media marketing compared to traditional advertisement, and especially this year, reaching out to members perhaps or potential members has been quite challenging because of all the lockdowns, etc. So has social media marketing been a big part of Luminus Financial in the past year or the last couple of years?
Good question. I think because we've got limited marketing budgets, for a number of years, we've been doing a lot of digital advertising anyway, on top of the normal media advertising. So yeah, digital advertising is key. We're actually also in the next week going to be launching a new digital commercial for Luminus Financial that will be posted on social media channels such as YouTube and Facebook. So yeah, you're absolutely right, where the social channels are the ones that we're using the most. And I find that even in my personal life, that whole social media connection has become a little bit more important because you're not able to see people physically, right? Like there was even a special app that my sister suggested to us as different our family groups in order to get together for birthdays and other celebrations because we weren't able to see it. So it's become sort of status quo. And even seeing my parents, late 60s, them knowing about Zoom and attending a birthday party that way for a niece or a nephew, or even my daughter. I didn't think that my daughter would be able to sit in front of a Zoom meeting, for a birthday, but she just found that connectivity, I guess, because she's used to technology already. It seems normal to her as well. So yeah, I think, social media for sure has been a channel that we've been taking advantage of.
So I just have one more question that I'm curious about. Who will be your ideal new member? If the ones who are watching, they are not members yet, and they are wondering, how do I get to have this institution as my partner for all my financial decisions? Who will be that person?
Well, you used a great term, if you're looking for a financial institution that's going to be your partner, that's going to help you with your finances, those are the types of ideal members for us. People don't realize that they have alternatives. They just think, well, the bank is at the corner, that's where I go. No, there are other options. And so if you are looking for a financial institution where you feel like you're not just a number, you're not just a customer, you're not just profit for them, but a financial institution that you can pick up the phone, talk to, and talk about your finances, but even talk about your personal situation. Like I love to hear from members that tell us about their trips or their families, right? Because it just makes us all human, right? So so that I think is the ideal. I mean, ultimately, we are using a lot of social media, and our newest commercials are going to be geared towards a younger audience. But I think that younger audience is also the ones that are hungry for different financial services, right? So those are the ideal members for us.
That's great. Options are always fantastic, and it's great. So thank you very much. That is fantastic. I love that answer. And I just wanted to welcome everyone to take a look at what else that Luminus Financial has to offer. I'm sure there is something for everyone. You have all the coordinates, you have the information. You can reach out to George De La Rosa, myself, Erica Aguilar, or Pierre Jean Galan, for any additional questions in regards to what do credit unions do and what they can do for you. You have a good afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to do this. Thank you.
Our sincere thanks to George De La Rosa and Luminus Financial for being the first participants in our series at the Talk Shop Show. Our next guests are going to be service providers to the credit union sector, such as mortgage broker Malcolm Stoffman, the mortgage guy. And following Malcolm, we'll have Matt McGuire from the AML shop. With Matt, we'll be discussing different aspects of anti-money laundering and also discussing complete CU services. So what type of consulting we do and how we can help credit unions and small financial institutions in different services that we offer. And we'll see you every Thursday. We'll post a new video at 9:30 a.m. So we'll catch you there. All right. Take care. Thanks again.